David Cameron, the Prime Minister, there at the CBI conference. Rita Clifton, clearly he's putting Britain on a war footing as far as growth is concerned. Is that how you would describe it?
Britain's business superstars explain how to survive a corporate calamity and bounce back stronger than ever.
Well, returning to the programme is my second guest, Rita Clifton. We always like having you on.
Returning to the programme is our third guest, Rita Clifton.
What's interesting about Apple's move into retail is that it wasn't so much Apple opening up a shop, but rather Apple opening up its experience and allowing people to buy Apple products in the kind of style, in the kind of environment that actually really suited that brand.
Can you get too successful?
Well, I find the concept of any brand being too big or too successful rather bizarre. I mean, if a brand is doing what consumers want, if it's producing good products, a good service, etc., people will vote for it and it will become more successful. If, on the other hand, it becomes lazy, complacent, greedy, etc., people will stop voting for it and they'll vote with their feet. It's a Darwinian theory of markets, and to be honest, it works extremely successfully.
Time now to take a look through the business pages of today's papers. You saw my panellists here. They are Digby Jones and Rita Clifton.
If we don't have successful businesses, we don't have the money to pay for civil society, schools, hospitals and everything else. Of course you need to encourage business. It's really, really critical. Then, of course, it's just about how you go about it. I think the other thing, though, we do need to say is that this is quite challenging for the UK as a brand. We're not looking great in terms of a friendly brand to business. It might be a popular vote winner to give big business a good kicking. And businesses and investors do not like that kind of uncertainty. That, I think, will be the challenge.
Right. I mean, Alistair Darling, I mean, if you're basing, your economy and public finances...
Welcome, Rita Clifton.
Quite a slipstream of achievement for your next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Rita Clifton.
Now, sometimes working in branding, I can say, is a little bit frustrating. And it's frustrating because when you can demonstrate beyond all doubt that the brand is the most important and sustainable asset any organisation has got, because people have a nasty habit of dying. I remember several years ago talking to a certain organisation about, basically how do you make broccoli sexy? And it was a tough one. It was a very tough one because, again, it hasn't got all that marketing.
Just out of our amusement?
Frankly, you need to get David Beckham to be eating it. 25 years ago, you said the brown word and you thought boxes, bottles, packets and cans. Whereas today, of course, you can apply that to anything from football teams, utilities, charities, and indeed, of course, people. You wonder what it is sometimes about the branding that people don't get. And this is, I think, a clue, which is people get too obsessed with the top bit. The logo and the name and the advertising and everything else. But of course, the thing that makes strong brands work is the substance that lies beneath. This is Warren Buffett, who's one of the world's most successful and least sentimental investors. And the reason I'm showing him is that don't just take my word for it on the importance of brands. When Warren Buffett was once interviewed by investors and asked what are the most important criteria by which he was going to judge the future success of companies and where he should invest, in number 3 he said a strong balance sheet. Number 2, he said a strong management team. Number 1, he said brand. Again, this is a guy who chews concrete blocks for breakfast.
If you've got a strong brand, that means you've got a loyal customer, and that's across business to business and consumer sectors. If you've got a loyal customer, that means more security of income, more security of earnings, that means more security of employment. And that in itself is a very important social benefit. In a service business, in a small business, your behaviour is your communication. Your people are your communication. What they do, how they are, how much they are your ambassadors.